Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you how to fold a persimmon, which is a Japanese fruit. This is a traditional model. I'll be using a 6-inch sheet of kami. We're going to start with the colored side down. Now we're going to fold a preliminary base, and to do that we'll fold in half along the vertical and the horizontal. So I'll bring this top edge down to align with the bottom edge. Hold those in place and crease. And then unfold. Now I'll bring the right edge over to align with the left edge. Hold those in place and crease. Now I'll rotate the model. Then bring this top edge down to align with this center crease and make sure the opening is on the bottom here. I'll fold through all layers, line that up and crease. And then turn the model over right to left. Do the same thing on this side. Bring that top edge down to align with that center crease. And now pick the model up. Look on the inside, open up this flap here, and bring these two corners to meet up, and set the model down and press everything down. Now it should look like this. Just make sure you have the two flaps on the right and two flaps on the left. Now we're going to bring this right edge down to meet the center crease. And just make sure everything's oriented the same way I have it, so the openings are all at the bottom here. And then do the same thing on the left side. And then unfold. Turn the model over, right to left. Then do the same thing on this side. We'll bring that edge to the center crease. Oops. And the same thing over here. And then unfold. Now we're going to turn each of those into squash folds. So we'll start with this fold right here. And the easiest way is to bring this flap over to the left, like that, just to make sure it can hinge freely like this. And then open this flap up, and you'll be forming these creases that you already have. And then just kind of push on the top here to make sure those creases go all the way up to that top point. And then crease them down. It should look like this. And then book fold that whole flap at the same time. Now we'll do the same thing with this flap. So again, just make sure it can hinge like this, and then open the flap up and form the crease on the right and the left side at the same time. Usually just a couple taps on the top. We'll do that. And now flip the model over right to left. Or I guess that was left to right, same thing. And then do the same thing on this side here, so make sure that can go back and forth. And then open the flap, forming those two creases at the same time. And then do a book fold. same thing on this flap. Now the model should look like this. You should have the same number of flaps on each side here. Just make sure everything is equal. And then do a book fold, which means just bring one flap over to the right and do the same thing behind, which I'll flip the model over so you can see that. Okay, so again, everything should still be even. We just have the flaps oriented differently. And now we'll fold this point up, making a valley fold between these two corners here. So just make sure these vertical lines stay aligned and then crease it. And then we're going to fold these two corners behind. So it'll be a mountain fold about right here. And the easiest way to do that is if you open this flap up, just swing one flap over and then fold this bottom edge right here in to meet the center crease. And then fold the flap back, like that. Then do the same thing on the left side here, so swing the flap over, line this edge up with the center crease, and then swing the flap back. Okay, and then turn the model over. Do the same thing over here. So bring this corner up. Then swing the flap over. Just one flap. Bring this edge to the center crease. Swing it back. Same thing here. Then once you've done this, you'll need to do it on these other two flaps. And to do that, we'll swing two flaps over at the same time. So the model looks like this, and then turn it over and do the same thing with another two flaps. And then perform those same steps once you have the model looking like this. Fold this flap up, aligning these vertical lines, and swing the flap over, make this fold, swing it back, and again. Then turn the model over and do this one more time. Alright, now the model should look like this. And now if you see, there's a little hole right here. And you're going to be inflating the model. And when you inflate it, these sides that are like this are going to spread out, and these are going to stay closed. So if you see where we folded those points in, those ones are going to remain closed. If you open it up kind of like this, so those ones that have the entire flaps can each stick out like that. You don't have to actually pull them out quite yet, but just make sure it's oriented that way. And if you want to pull them out now, that's fine. But then you're going to inflate the model by blowing into this hole here. It should look like this. If you didn't inflate it quite right, you can just Squish that back down and give it another go. Alright, and that's close enough. You can lift these flaps out. This one's not perfect, but you can mess with it until it's just right. Looks kind of good from this side. And we're all done.